Should you give your original/raw footage to the client? This question comes up all the time, and I'm going to start off and answer it right off the bat. And the answer is, it depends. Welcome to Pull My Focus, Adventures in the World of Digital Filmmaking, where we give you the inside tips you need to make great video. So this question comes up literally every other week, sometimes every week, on various commercial videographer boards and Facebook groups that I'm in, where someone is like, hey, the client loved the project, I edited, it's great, I shot, I edited, and all that, and now they're asking for the original footage, and what do I do? Do I give it to them? And then argument starts. I mean, literally within an hour, it'll just fill up. And it's two camps. No way, don't you dare, / yes, but charge them, license them for the use of that footage, versus, yeah, give it to them. They probably own it already, / yeah, sure, who cares? Why? Move on to the next job. I'm in the latter camp, and it always kind of drove me crazy. Like, how could people think that they own all this, and just an alien idea to me, given the agency work I do, where it's just all work for hire. And then I cleared up recently for me with one person's reply, and that was, the same question comes up time and time again. Basically, you'll have the folks that do wedding videos and mom and pop stuff say no. Then you'll have those that do agency and corporate say yes. And that's when it kind of popped for me. I'm like, and I realized it depends. You see, with agency work, that agency is under contract, a big contract called an MSA, a Master Service Agreement, that covers all the projects they're going to do for their client, and it usually covers more than a year. It can be multi-year contracts, big thing. I mean, imagine the kind of ad agency contracts, McDonald's and Honda and these other kind of car companies, these big companies, enterprise level companies will have. And so under those agreements, with the agency, they own everything that's work for hire. And the reason is when the contract's up, they might renew, or they might decide, you know what, we're going to move on. We're going to go to a new agency. And they may have liked the work that agency did, but they want to juice it up a little bit. They want to go to a new agency with different creative thinking, not only for the content, but the overall marketing campaigns. And so when they move to a new agency, they need to bring everything with them. It's their IP, their branding, but it's also, campaigns that are still running that need to, some they want to keep going, while other ones are going to change completely or modify. And so they need that footage, and they need even those Premiere profiles and Adobe After Effects. They need it all. Now, if you shoot weddings, small business, maybe even medium businesses, I can now understand how that's a different world. Jane and John Doe newlyweds are happy with the video and the footage you shot for them, and then they ask for the original footage. What are they going to do with it? They don't know how to look at C-Log or S-Log. At an agency, they do. They know exactly what's going on, and they have either people in-house or freelancers like me who know how to look at that footage and use it. So that's when I realized what the litmus test is for the it depends. In business, we solve problems, whether it's a product or a service. If I don't have food in the house or just don't want to cook tonight, I can order food in. I can pay someone else to cook dinner for me and my wife, and someone to deliver that meal to us. I'm paying for that service to solve a problem for me. And it's the same thing in business. So with that agency, they know it's not a problem. I'm going to deliver not only the product, but I'm delivering, when they have to, all the original footage, the original files, Premiere Pro, After Effects. I'm going to give them notes for that next editor, right? Which sometimes is me, when an agency switches to my agency and we get the work. I'm going to let them know, here are the list of 3 third-party plugins you're going to need. So I'm solving a problem for them. I'm making it all easy, and it's not a problem whatsoever. Now, on the other hand, if Jane and John Doe, newlywed, want that footage, that actually can cause problems, giving them raw C-log, S-log. They don't know what to, it's huge files, and they look at it, they don't even know what's going on. And you know, if Cousin Vinny kind of knows how to edit a little bit, they're gonna have all kinds of questions, especially about the plugins. I can get that. It makes a lot of sense. And dealing with them, having to give them footage, maybe sort it and give it to them in a way where they could actually use it. Totally get it. It totally makes sense. So for me, I realize that's kind of the litmus test. Now, some people argue that, no, I shot it. I own it. It's in the copyright law. And they're kind of correct, but they're cherry picking. Yes, in American copyright law, it says that the copywriter is the person who produces, right, creates that work, and in this case, shooting that footage. But they're forgetting that there's an unless part. Unless there's another agreement in place, which is work for hire. You're an employee with certain companies. Basically, a lot of people hold on to this idea that, well, I shot it and I created it, or I created this, you know, Premiere project file. It's my IP. Well, no, it's not always the case. When I do agency work, it is not mine. From the minute I shoot that footage or the minute I start editing it, it's theirs. Some people will say things like, well, you know, it's like if you go to a restaurant and after you eat your meal, you ask the chef for the ingredients. You know, that ain't right. And I'm like, God, that analogy drive me just batshit crazy. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And trying to figure out why, and I realized it. It's like, no. We're not all going to a restaurant ordering off a menu where they're using ingredients that that any restaurant can have access to. No. I'm hiring a chef to come to my place of business to make a specific meal we direct them to make using custom exotic ingredients that they can only get here. The footage of our president, CEO, and staff talking, the shots of our office, the shot of our factory, or whatever else it is, our building. Those aren't standard ingredients. Those are theirs. So I'm sorry, that analogy doesn't hold any water with me. Some people will say, well, if you give it away, you don't have it anymore. You can't use it in your reel. Well, yeah, it's digital, so you keep a copy. And yes, you can use it in your reel. You make sure it's in your contract, and those master service agreements that I have with agencies, they put it in there that yes, you can use it, you know, unless it's under an NDA. And there's a few projects like that. We had a whole bunch of projects we did at the end of the year for a company that sold products through Home Depot. And these videos were for internal sales meetings with the big shots at Home Depot who ordered everything that was sold through Home Depot throughout the whole, you know, all of North America. And so there were a lot of confidential proprietary numbers, sales numbers and percentage and this, that, and the other that there's no way that could ever be public. It was beautiful stuff we did with this amazing agency, great creative directors, art directors there, but I can't put that in my reel. And that's fine. We got other great stuff. Why I think it depends is a good answer. The bottom line this is because there are some videos out there really saying, no, never give it away. And I'm like, it doesn't work in all worlds. And they then have these arguments that just don't hold a lot of water. Like, not, you know, you can't give your negative away. You know, you didn't give your negative away back in the day. Well, in the still world, no, you didn't. But in film, yeah, you did. You didn't. It wasn't your negative. You didn't pay for it. You didn't pay for that film stock. It was expensive. With digital, it's a little different. You know, now all of a sudden you have DSLRs that shoot stills and shoot video. And so the worlds kind of came together, commingled, and then you've got a lot of different things going on, where before those two worlds were very, very separate, right? Video and film, but also still and video / film. So they're all commingled today, and so all these concepts of ownership get commingled. So you want to just be clear what it is for the type of work that you do, and that your agreements might be different with different sets of people. And maybe just don't be so hard-strung and be no way or always yes. Because I can see why giving it to a married couple, like if I did something like that, it would be like, oh gosh, you know. So to be honest, I don't care. Here, just take it. I'm done. I'm out. Bye. have a wonderful marriage. Yes. Thanks for listening to me step up on my Apple box here and go on about this topic. If you want to argue with me, please go ahead in the comments below. We'll have a little back and forth. Just be nice about it. Come on. In the end, let's all have fun. Shoot great stuff. Make money, right?